Today, luxury fashion brands are paying attention to her. Runway audiences are noticing her. Fashion insiders are talking about her. And many believe she could become one of the next major faces of her generation. But not long ago, almost nobody knew her name. No magazine covers. No runway buzz. No global attention. So how did Bhavitha Mandava go from relative obscurity to becoming one of the most talked about rising models in fashion? And why is the industry suddenly paying so much attention? This is the story of Bhavitha Mandava, the face everyone is starting to notice. Fashion is one of the most competitive industries in the world. Every year, thousands of aspiring models dream of walking the world's biggest runways. Only a small number ever get the opportunity, and an even smaller group manages to stand out. Yet somehow Bhavitha Mandava has done exactly that. Over the last few years, her name has started appearing in conversations among fashion insiders, photographers, casting directors, and luxury brands. The reason isn't just beauty. The fashion world sees beauty every day. What separates a promising model from everyone else's presence? The ability to command attention the moment they step onto a runway. The ability to make people stop scrolling. The ability to leave an impression. And that's exactly what Bhavitha has been doing. But her rise didn't happen overnight. And what happened next would change everything. Because before luxury fashion came calling, Bhavitha was just another young woman with a dream. Before the attention, every successful model has a chapter that most people never see. The chapter before the spotlight. Before the recognition. Before the opportunities. For Bhavitha, that chapter was filled with uncertainty. Like many aspiring models, there was no guarantee the fashion industry would ever notice her. No guarantee the effort would pay off. No guarantee her journey would lead anywhere at all. That's what makes stories like hers so fascinating. Because when we look at successful people, we often focus on the results. We rarely think about the risks, the waiting, the patience, the countless moments where giving up would have been easier. But those unseen moments are often where future success begins. And for Bhavitha, persistence was quietly laying the foundation for something much bigger. Then came the opportunity that would put her on a completely different path. Breaking into high fashion. Getting noticed is difficult. Staying noticed is even harder. The fashion industry moves fast. Trends change. New faces emerge constantly. Competition never stops. Which is why breaking into high fashion is one of the biggest challenges any model can face. Yet Bhavitha began doing exactly that. With each appearance, more people started paying attention. Photographers noticed her versatility. Brands noticed her presence. Industry professionals noticed her potential. And once momentum begins in fashion, it can build surprisingly fast. One opportunity leads to another. One runway leads to another. One successful appearance opens doors to even bigger possibilities. Slowly but surely, Bhavitha's career started moving beyond promise and into reality. And the biggest opportunities were still ahead, because the next stage of her journey would place her in front of some of the most influential names in fashion. The breakthrough moment. For many aspiring models, getting close to luxury fashion brands is a dream. For Bhavitha, it started becoming reality. As her profile continued rising, her visibility within the industry increased. And with visibility comes credibility. The fashion world is incredibly selective. Brands don't simply choose faces because they're attractive. They look for models who can represent a vision, a mood, a story, a feeling. And Bhavitha's growing success suggested that industry decision-makers were seeing something special. Something worth investing in. Something worth paying attention to. This was no longer about potential. This was becoming proof. Proof that she belonged on bigger stages. Proof that her career trajectory was accelerating. And perhaps most importantly, proof that her story was only getting started. But what exactly makes Bhavitha different from hundreds of other aspiring models? Why fashion is watching her? This is where her story becomes especially interesting. Because fashion isn't just about looks. If it were, thousands of people would become supermodels every year. Instead, success often comes down to something much harder to define. Presence, timing, versatility, professionalism, and the ability to adapt. Bhavitha appears to possess many of the qualities the industry values most. She can transition between different aesthetics, different moods, different creative directions, and in an industry where adaptability matters, that can become a major advantage. Perhaps that's why so many people within fashion are beginning to see her as one of the names to watch. Not necessarily because of where she is today, but because of where she could be tomorrow. And that brings us to the most exciting part of her story, the future. What happens next? Every generation introduces new models. Most enjoy brief moments of attention before fading away. A select few go on to become household names, global ambassadors, fashion icons, industry legends. Right now, nobody can predict exactly where Bhavitha Mandava's journey will lead. That's part of what makes her story so compelling. We're witnessing the early chapters unfold in real time. The rise, the momentum, the opportunities, the growing recognition, the sense that something bigger may be ahead. And for viewers watching now, there is a unique excitement in discovering a rising star before the rest of the world fully catches on. Bhavitha Mandava's journey is a reminder that every success story starts long before the spotlight arrives. Before the recognition, before the opportunities, before the headlines, there is effort, patience, persistence, and belief. Today, the fashion world is paying attention to Bhavitha Mandava. Tomorrow, only time will tell how far her story will go. But one thing is certain. This is only the beginning. If you enjoyed discovering the story behind one of fashion's most promising rising stars, subscribe to Model Archives. We uncover the journeys behind the world's most fascinating models, fashion icons, influencers, and rising talents. And tell us in the comments, which model should we feature next? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.